Hi.
How are you today?
Good. Could have been better, but it's okay.
So, please tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Zar Shan. No, Zar Shan, as a lot of people say. It's because of no, it's because of the accent and the dialect. But it's Zar Shan, not Zar Shan. But I don't really mind. Since I've came here, everyone just says Zar Shan. So I just like whenever I introduce myself, I just say Zar Shan. Because every single time I say Zar Shan, they're like, pardon? Like Zar Shan. They're like, oh, cool. So that's how I'm known. Like, this problem has existed my entire life. Not Zar Shan, but there's another name not called Zishan, which is same as Zar Shan, like similar. So since I was a kid, people used to call me Zishan rather than Zar Shan, apart from my own family. So yeah. I've had a name crisis. And this is actually my third or fifth name, something around, my mom tells me. She named me quite a few names. And then she had this like kind of misbelief about one of the names being too heavy on me or something. Like I used to be sick, and then she changed my name. I'm still sick, but it's okay.
Yeah. What is your typical day like?
Oh, wake up, come to uni. Go home, sleep, wake up, come to uni, go home, sleep. That's how it is these days, but yeah.
Tell us more about yourself, other than your name. Tell us more, anything that comes to mind.
I mean, I love to play cricket, as my skin tone might tell you. It's a bit cliched, but yeah. I love to play cricket. I love to work out. Not that I'm good at it, but I love to work out. Not that I do it every day, but I still love to work out. And I try to do it as much as I can. Yeah, and I'm the youngest son in my family. I'm not the spoiled one. I'm the most matured one as well. Yeah.
Why are you saying that?
I don't know. I've made less stupid choices in my life than they have. So, I mean, not too stupid, but they've, like, my siblings, been a bit too stubborn, and I've never really asked for anything from my parents. I do things myself. So.
We are in Granddaddy's, which is a
burger
place. Why here? Why did you choose this place?
Because I just come here too often. Yeah, the people know me. They know what I order, and yeah, I get discounts. That's why I come.
So, what would you say is your favorite thing in the world?
It's hard to point out one favorite thing in the world because I think no one actually has one favorite thing in the world. Depends on the mood. Like, music is my favorite. Movies are okay. Sometimes books. I'm not a good reader, but I like to read sometimes. Friends, they're one of the most favorite things in the world. And my mother. Yeah.
So what does friendship mean to you?
Everything, basically. I mean, sounds really corny. Everything. But like, without friend, it's a bit boring. It's like, it's really lonely if you don't have any friends. And that's like my biggest fear. My biggest fear in life is to grow old alone. I don't want to be that old guy in the basement apartment getting angry at the younger couple upstairs. Like, turn it down. It's 3 a.m. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. And if I don't have any friends, I might become them. Yeah, so. Friends keep you sane, I would say. Good friends.
So, what was young or baby Zar Shan like? How were you like?
A lot more silent and introvert, which is hard to believe. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, you were an introvert." I'm like, yeah, I was. I used to be in my own room with my own toys, but in my own world. That's why people used to say I'm the more mature out of the family, because I never used to interfere with anything. I was in my own, like I used to create these fantasy worlds with my toys. Not like houses or anything, but like there's a traffic jam there and there's two guys wrestling and stuff. Yeah. So I was into that stuff. Yeah, so I've loved toys my entire life. I still have this Hot Wheel collection that I'm proud of. Yeah, video games and toys.
Why video games?
I think I got into video games because I used to spend a lot of my time in my grandma's house. And my mom's brother, he had a computer. And he used to have all these new games, and I used to watch them play since I was like, as long as I can remember, maybe like 3 or 2 year old. And I used to try games on his computers. Like I've been playing really, really hard games since I was like a kid. So I got good at them. And I used to play like games like kind of adult games. Not as in like adult content, but like with all blood and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I got good at them, and I just like them because it gives you, as much as I say I love my friends and stuff, like it's not like I didn't have friends when I was a kid. I didn't have many friends, so I've spent most of the time with my own self in my own room playing with things like toys or video games. So I never used to go outside that much, so spent a lot of time in my room.
What about, how do you differ now as a 20-year-old Zar Shan?
I mean, I have a lot more friends. I go out a lot more than I used to. So really, I'm more of an extrovert than an introvert. Yeah, so I'm more outspoken than I was back then. I just say stuff which I like, which is not good sometimes. Because I think in order to think and speak, you need to risk sounding offensive. Because otherwise, you can't really think or speak that much. But I take that thing a bit too far. I'm not really offensive kind of person. I can stay in my boundaries. But compared to 10 years old me to now, I'm more outspoken than I was. Like I speak up for things a lot more than I did back then, which makes sense as I was a kid. Like I wouldn't speak up to anyone. I didn't get bullied, but I was that one crybaby in my house. I was a crybaby basically. I used to cry over everything. So yeah.
So where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I mean, what I would like to see myself in 10 years is have a decent job with the career material science that I'm studying. I just want to like make things. I don't want like Nobel awards or anything like that. I just want to make things to satisfy myself. Yeah, so I want to be making my things, having a decent job, a family, and then having a good house. It's like peaceful life, American dream. Yeah. Yeah.
What makes you angry?
Not many things, but there's few things. Like I don't get angry over big things. There's some small things that make me angry. When people are being annoying, basically. It's like, with annoying it means when they are being a bit, bad word coming, being piece of shit. When people are being piece of shit, that annoys me. When they're being bad to others. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Otherwise I don't get annoyed that much.
What makes you happy?
Being with friends. I spent a lot of time with my friends. More than I should, but I just can't help it. This is why this is one of my favorite places, because I've spent so much time with friends in here.
What is your superpower?
My superpower? I don't know. I think I sometimes This is a lot more like a self-analysis question, which I don't do that much. My superpower. I think I can cheer people up a lot easier. I've made people laugh in situations where they wouldn't laugh. Yeah, so.
Can you give an example?
I mean, there's some really bad ones, like really, really dark ones, and there's some which are not that dark. So I would give them not that dark ones, because, I mean, the dark ones, I don't mean as in like really offensive ones, but it's a bit weird from the situations that happen.
By dark, you mean dark jokes?
Yeah, it's a bit of a dark joke, because it was an emotional situation, so I shouldn't have said it. I didn't say anything, something happened, and I couldn't control my laughter. So I have a tendency to laugh at serious things. So yeah, I try to find the humor in dark things,
Why do you
which is
think
bad.
you do that?
I think sometimes laughter is what kind of lets you escape the reality. It's still, because you end up being sad at it, you kind of laugh at it. You still are sad, but at least you get something out of it rather than just tears. So that's my analogy. Yeah, once it's a bit of a dark one, but yeah. One of my friends, his parents separated for a while, like a week. They got back together, thankfully. And I got to the class quite early, and my friend was already there. And he was like, "Hey, how are you so early? You're always late." And I was like, "Yeah, last time I was this early, your parents were still together." Which made him laugh, because I was really close to his family. Because I was one of the only friends who was allowed in his house. One of the only two friends who was allowed in. So I knew them, they treated me as a family. So it was really sad for me too, but I kind of twisted it around. I'm not proud of the joke, but at least he remembers the joke now. And when we look back at it, it's funny because his parents are back together. If they weren't, it'd be different. But yeah.
What is your biggest struggle?
Biggest struggle. Sometimes I find things hard to focus on, especially studies. I get bored. Boredom is my biggest struggle. I get bored easily, and then I can't focus on that thing, and then I start doing the other thing, and then I get bored of that thing, and then I start doing the other thing, and then I've started doing 3 things, and I haven't finished any of them. So. Yeah, so I would start studying, and then half an hour into it, I would start looking at the ceiling, and then I would not move. I would just look at the ceiling and then think for about 10 minutes, and then I would take my phone out, and I start looking at memes. And then about 20 minutes after, I would open up my computer, start doing something on there. My studies are still there. Then I like to write, and then I'll take a book out. I'll write really good 2-3 lines, which I could probably continue on and write really good paragraphs. But then I leave that and I go back to the studies because I feel like, oh shit, I've taken a 2-hour break. So my studies were still there, my thing was there. The half message I typed to my friend, which I think I've already sent but I haven't, that's still there. So that's my weakness as well, if you take it.
Tell us a bit more about your writing. You said you write.
Yeah, I write sad things a lot, but in a funny way sometimes. I like to give a different twist to things. I've been through some stuff in my life personally, and then I wrote something in which I was talking to myself but in third person. So I'm writing about this guy who's doing so much for this person, but it's not worth it. As I'm calling that guy an idiot, but that guy is me. Yeah, so I write deep things, but then
In what language?
that was in Punjabi. I also write in Urdu, like I write plays of different characters. I've always loved to write. One of my biggest passions. I love to write.
Why do you like to write?
It makes you forget about everything else and you focus on one thing. Because writing is something which I can sometimes focus on a lot more than anything else. It's peaceful to write. Because you can go through like some sort of self-analysis in the meantime. Because I write on my own a lot. On my own self. As in like, yeah. So makes me think about the stuff I've been through. Sometimes just take the sadness out of it and just put it in words, as in a sad way. And sometimes take the humor out of that thing and then put it in a humorous way on the paper. It's still sad. I know it's sad, but it makes people laugh because they don't understand it. Which makes it even more sadder. But it makes it funnier as well, like how people can't understand things. Which you can't blame them. Yeah.
When was the last time that you cried?
I cried.
As you said, like you write about sad things, I'm just wondering, what do you call it?
I mean, yeah, like I don't cry of physical damage. Like once in Pakistan, I got into this bike accident in which I fell like 5 meters away from a bike, and I went home laughing about it. But if something emotionally happens, then I cry. I'll watch this series sometimes. That makes me tear up a bit. I don't cry. I don't remember when I full on cried, but I've teared up a bit, like maybe past week.
What's the series?
Oh, it's One Piece. It's an anime, but I'm not a weeb. I'm not a weeb. I don't watch anime, but just one anime that I watch. So it's really emotional.
Tell us more about cricket.
I've done quite a lot and quite nothing at the same time. I've been playing it as long as I can remember. Yeah, and yeah, so let me take this off. I've been playing it as long as I can remember. Yeah, so.
You grew up playing it?
Yeah, I grew up playing it. I was in my my primary school. I started playing it. I got into my school team. I represented them a few times. Yeah, I play for my uni now. So I really love to play cricket. I don't know, it's just fun. Especially when you're playing with your friends. It's just something which I've wasted so much time on, but I never get tired of playing cricket. Like whenever I go to play, I just don't get tired. I just like it a lot.
Do you like to play sport in general?
Yeah. Yeah.
You go to the gym as well?
Yeah. Try to.
How do you stay motivated though?
I don't. It's not. Motivation is temporary. It's just it comes and goes in a few seconds. It's just the true love and passion you have for something. Yeah, it's like I repeat that thing a lot of the times, all the time. Motivation is temporary.
Why? Can you explain a bit more?
Because
what you mean by that?
you get motivated to do something, and then when you start doing it, you will lose the motivation as soon as the thing starts getting harder. But you will keep on doing it if you love it, if you have the true passion for that thing. Because I remember when I first time I went to the gym with like a trainer, I was edit this out a bit. So the first time I went to the trainer, he made me do like some next level workout. Oh, you can keep the trainer bit in. but just this thing I kind of stuck at. Yeah, so I went with the trainer and he made me do like some next level workout, which I never did before, and that kicked my ass. That workout, I was on the floor after that. I could not breathe. I was just super tired, and that moment I lost all the motivation. I thought this is not for me, but it was the passion I had for it. It was the need, the want, the necessity I felt I needed at that moment to go to the gym that kept me going till this day.
What would your friend describe? What would your friend describe?
Oh, the person who just does not stop talking. Yeah, because I don't stop talking when I'm with my friends. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how my friends think of me. This is one thing which I'm sure of that they think of me, but I don't know about anything else because I never asked them.
How would you describe yourself?
The person who talks a lot. Yeah, I talk a lot, and I don't talk that much at the same time. Like, I talk a lot when I'm with my friends, really close friends, and if I'm just in a family gathering or with just people who I'm not that familiar with, I don't talk a lot. I just don't talk much at all.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change?
Oh, there's a lot of things about the world I would change. Sometimes I feel like there's so many things which I would like to change. Just the way people think, like they refuse to look at both sides of the story. They stick to one, and then they parade for it, which I don't think is a good or a bad thing. I just think that makes relationships, arguments, friendships toxic, because people do not want to cooperate with others. As like in a relationship, it's like any relationship. You don't have to be like a spouse or anything, and your friends, family, whatever. It's like a two-way thing. Sometimes there's more traffic coming from that road. Sometimes there's equal. Sometimes there's no traffic on that road. But it's still a two-way thing. And yeah, sometimes you need to do more, and the other person doesn't do that much, and sometimes the other person needs to do more. But what I think is like sometimes what people get into is like when there's more traffic coming from that road, this road just assumes that there should be just traffic coming from that road and there shouldn't be any from this road, which kind of kills a lot of things like relationships, which kills friendships, which kills really like families. So yeah, people don't try to talk things out. There's too much ego.
So you would change that? You would make everyone talk to each other?
Yeah, kind of opens up.
What does happiness mean to you?
Everything, I don't know. It's just everything. It means the most important thing I would say in the world is happiness. Because what I call good friends is whom I can have a laugh with. If I can laugh with you guys about things that I like, I would consider you guys my friends. And laughter equals happiness to me, at the very least. I'm not saying it equals happiness, but to me it equals happiness.
So what was the craziest thing you've done
Recently, get into uni. I mean, yeah, all jokes aside, the craziest thing I did was I tried to do some tricks on a snowboard and I almost ended up breaking my hip bone. So yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I was at the risk of like disabling myself for the rest of the life.
You are in the linguistic society too. What
Yeah.
makes you interested in languages?
Oh, I think to understand someone's culture better, you should learn their language, because it opens up a lot of Like, if you can understand how things communicate, you understand a lot of things about them. So that's why I joined linguistics, because I wanted to learn different things about Japanese, Chinese, Arabic culture. So I did that.
You also teach society. Tell us more about that. Why do you choose to teach Urdu?
Oh, because I think it's like one of the languages people are not that informed about. A lot of the times when I tell people I teach Urdu, they're like, teach what? Like Urdu. I was like, okay, what's that? Like, this is a language from this world, da da da. So they're like, oh, cool. It's like a lot of people don't know about it.
So you tell us again about what is Urdu?
Yeah, where does the word Urdu come from?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the thing that my Urdu teacher in year 9 told me. He said like the word Urdu is like means army, and why it means army is because it's like during some time in history, I think against Mongolians or something, I don't know, or before that, all the forces from different parts of the world, like Turkish, Arabic, Persian, Indian forces, they combined, like they came together to fight something, and then they had a language barrier. So they came up with a language, and they called it Urdu. So that's why Urdu had every single sound in the world. Fun fact.
What does family mean to you?
What does it mean? I think the word family is like, I identify as like F is for friends, and then F is for family. It's like it's like two branches of the same tree. So family is the same as friends are. So my friends are my family, and my family is my friend.
Why material science?
Oh, because I just wanted to make things. Because that's what they do in material science. That's what I think, as far as I know. They study about materials and they make up things, new things. So that's what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to make things. I think that comes from my passion of writing. Because when you write, you create something. And I like to create things. I just like to do it. I just always like to do things, like make up things. I like to make up things from papers. It's called origami. Yeah, I like to do that. Make up stories. I always like to make up things. So.
Zar Shan, to end this, do you have any advice that you would give future you or anyone watching? Any piece of advice? Please share with us.
Your friends and families are bigger than your ego. It's like, you know, you have like to be considered strong as in material science. You need to be not just strong as in like not being able to bend, but even if you do bend, you're still strong. You just don't break. That's the thing. Like sometimes things are too strong. So one advice for everyone is your friends and families are way bigger than your ego. Don't let the relationships break, because yeah, it's like if you're alive you will bend, but if you're dead you will break. So
Thank you, Zar Shan.
yeah, it's like the more ripe, the more ripe or ripe, I don't know how to say it, a tree is, the more it bends. The more fruit it has, the more it bends. And the less fruit it has, the less it bends. So the more you're able to bend your ego to satisfy, to cooperate with people you love, then the better you are as a person. I'm not saying you should be absolute prideless. You need to have that pride and self-respect. But you need to maintain it as well as the relationships. So they need to find a balance, because sometimes you need to apologize even if it wasn't your mistake, and sometimes you shouldn't. Yeah.